Good morning, and today I am going to cover one of my favorite things, paranormal, ghosts, UFOs. I'm really into this. And 1952 was a huge year for lots of discoveries, reports. And I came across an article in the Elmira, New York News, dated August 1st, 1952. Now, there are several credible people who reported this phenomenon, and it is listed as one of the strange lights that were never perfectly explained. I hope you enjoy this. It's just first-hand account of what was reported as it happened. Of reported sightings of flying saucers, or at least lights in the sky, came from scattered parts of Chamoun County early this afternoon. Now, so this means it was in the middle of the day. They were closely followed by Tuesday sightings of a large silver ball by Mrs. Llewellyn Moss of Horseheads, while as a civilian air spotter. Today's reports came from residents of Tompkins Centers near the county airport, from the Ridge Road north of Horsehead, and from the Austin Hill Road out of Hamlet of Erie. Two jet-powered airplanes appeared in the skies over the northern part of the county about the time of the saucers, as they were reported. The public information officer at the Griffin's Air Force Base at Rome, New York, said that the Star-Gazette that the jet planes were sent to the area after reports were received from the Air Force that there was unidentified flying objects in the area. Apparently, the few sightings of the objects this morning were made by Mrs. Charles Blodgett of Horseheads, who was on duty with her son Charles Jr. at the Miss Hills Civil Defense Ground Observatory. Now, these are all people that are what I would consider well-educated. They work for the town, for the government, and they were civil engineers. She said that her son heard a sound that he thought was a jet airplane and went outside of the shelter at this point to look. He called his mother outside, and they saw three round silver objects flying high up in the air. Mrs. Blodgett telephoned the center at Syracuse at 11 a.m. and was kept on the telephone for nearly an hour and a half while jet aircraft were dispatched to the scene. She described the saucers as disc-shaped silver with what appeared to be a blister or a small rounded protection on the outer side. She said one would appear and suddenly in the sky, then south to south at a rendezvous side of the diameter. Then it would disappear. It would disappear as fast as it came, and then it would reappear. Once she said the object seemed to cut across the sky, then flipped over and hung there a minute before speeding off in the opposite direction. The first one was sighted, she said, was lower than the others, and that they were moving around to the north. She said the disc was rooting counterclockwise and it flashed through the sky. The rotation was clearly visible, and it was where she could see it was going slowly and then going quickly. Now, this is daytime, and this is a lady that is a civil service person. Back then, they used to have many people who were watching out for Russians and everything. So she was trained in this. At last report this afternoon, the objects were still being sighted in the area. The Mass Hill post out of Horseheads and overlooking the Brenport Erin Valley. The Filter Center instructed young Blodgett to go to the high knoll near the post where he could see the jet pilots and give them signals notifying the direction of the saucers. So they sent the young man out, and an identified truck driver happened on the site, stopped, and saw the objects. He remained for some time to assist Mrs. Blodgett. The sound heard by young Blodgett was out of the same as the sound made by the planes when they arrived. Now, it was also seen by a farmer. One of the most vivid descriptions of the phenomenon came from Philip Nichols in the town of Horseheads, a farmer who lived in Hopkins Center. Nichols said he was working on a new barn when he heard a shrill whistle, looked up, and saw strange objects traveling through the air at the same time. He said they looked like big bugs and were higher than most of the other planes. I've never seen one that high. And he said the objects came here. It's from the direction of Millport, and after circling the area for about 10 minutes, they disappeared toward the Beaver Dam section. Told that they were two jet planes were reportedly in the area, and at the same time, he said they also heard, but did not see the jets. He emphatically added that what he saw was no type of aircraft. So this is a man out doing work on his farm, working on a new barn, and he just knew that something was strange. The farmer said that he didn't think much about it until two of the objects stopped dead and remained standing for 2 to 3 minutes. So these objects actually had the ability to just stay in place. He said the round craft appeared to be powered by propellers similar to those used by helicopters. That's strange. The two objects were staged in the sky, would frequently pass ahead a short distance and stop again. Other members of the family went out to the yard and saw and agreed with Nicholas's description. A number of residents of Ridge Road joined in the group and watched the strange objects. They were first sighted near the Horsehead and eventually moved south. One observer described them as little stars tumbling about in all different directions. They were said to be extremely high. Mrs. Agnes Hook of Austin Hill said she was hanging out washing when she heard a sound like thunder and looked up in the sky to see two silver balls with rings around them. Now, these are people that are just out doing their thing. It's during the day. It's not at night. This is reputable people. Most of the observers were reluctant to describe what they were seen until told that scores of other persons had also reported the same thing. When told that they were not the only ones citing the phenomenon, the information appeared relieved. Several of the reports agreed in one respect. The objects were seen when looking in the direction of the sun. However, several people said that the objects were not always in the direction of the sun. Some said both the jet planes and the strange objects, while others did not see the jet planes. Griffin Air Force Base reported only 2 planes having been sent there. Persons who saw the objects in the sky said that there was no way that they could have been airplanes. Now, E.L. Shrip of 1122 Central Avenue, Horseheads, said he saw two objects like big balls and at about 12:45 p.m. Now, this is and this is just afternoon. This is bright sky. He said that they were being chased by two jet airplanes. The strange objects said were as big as dinner plates. Employees of both the Eclipse Machine Division and the American Bridge Company also reported sighting these strange objects during this time. Now, I looked into it, and it is listed as one of the unexplained phenomenons that happened, and it is definitely a strange thing. It happened in a small town, and it made the front page of the paper, Elmira, New York, Friday evening, August 1st, 1952.